A very good morning, children. How are you? I hope you are all doing well. Children, in the last class, we have learned Newton's second law with a few applications. Today, we are going into the last part of the lesson, that is Newton's third law, in today's class with few examples. Children, before uh, understanding what is the statement for Newton's third law of motion, we have to understand something related to that. So, according to this law, when an object A exerts a force on another object B, the second object B exerts a force back on the first object A at that same instant, means at that particular time only. Okay, now these two forces are always equal in magnitude, but they are opposite in direction. The two opposing forces are also known as forces of action and reaction forces. And one more thing you have to remember, that the forces of action and reaction act on two different objects A and B. So when they are acting, they never act on a single object. Thus the third law of motion tells us that when two objects interact with each other, they occur a pair of equal and opposite forces, not just a single force. So, here in the picture, you have seen two different objects, A and B. So, according to the explanation, what I have done, force exerted by one body, here A body, let that force exerted by this body on BB, FAB. So the other body here is B. The force exerted by second body on A, let that be FBA. So force exerted by first body is FAB, force exerted by second body is FBA. And according to the condition what I explained, they are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. That means when you have studied in 8th standard, for FBD diagrams, I have taken a sign, one in one direction, the other in opposite direction. I have taken a negative sign. So similarly, here also we have to take a negative sign. So force exerted by first body, that means FAB is equal to minus FBA. FBA means force exerted by second body on first body. So this is the expression you have to remember. And this, in this case, one more thing you have to remember is they are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. Okay, so here, whatever the bodies I have taken, any object, it can be any object, a car and a cycle, a truck and a car, whatever the thing. For explanation, in general, I have taken two different objects. Okay, so whatever the thing is, FAB is equal to minus FBA. And this is a statement for Newton's third law of motion. What is that? To every action, there is always an equal and opposite reaction. That is, the forces of action and reaction are always equal and opposite. These forces act on two different objects and never cancel each other. Each force produces its own effect. So this is the statement for Newton's third law of motion. So in short, we'll tell like that. To every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. So, what is the note you have to remember? Newton's first law and second law of motion apply to a single body, whereas Newton's third law applies to an interaction between two different objects. So, Newton's third law applies to an interaction between two different objects. So here the action and reaction pair in Newton's third law always represents forces acting on two different bodies simultaneously. So, one more example I'll tell. If you are walking on the ground, at each step, you know that your feet exert some force on the ground. Similarly, that the ground also exerts same force in the opposite direction on you. That makes you to walk easily. So, one more surprising news to you is that when you push a wall, then wall also pushes you back, but it is unnoticeable. To understand about Newton's third law of motion, an activity is given which is called as pulling two spring balances in your textbook. Let us understand this activity also. So here in the picture you are observing two spring balances named as A and B. The fixed end of the spring balance B is attached to a rigid support like a wall there, and when a force is applied by pulling the fixed end of the spring balance A to the right side, both the spring balances show the same readings on the scales. The values what is mentioned in the picture is 4 newtons. So that means if a force exerted by spring balance B on A is equal in magnitude but opposite in direction to the force exerted by spring balance A on B. And here you have to remember that the force exerted by spring balance B on spring balance A is called B on spring balance A is called action. Then the force exerted by spring balance A on B is called reaction. So as the readings on the scales of two spring balances are equal, that is 4 newtons, therefore the forces of action and reaction are always equal. That means the force of action on spring balance A is to the right and the force of reaction on spring balance B is to the left. So the forces of action and reaction are opposing forces. So these forces of action and reaction are acting on two different objects. If action is on A, reaction is on B. So after completing the activity, we have to conclude in this way. As the readings on the scales of the two spring balances are equal, that is 4 newtons we have seen in A and B spring balances. Therefore, the forces of action and reaction are always equal. It is evident by that activity what we have seen. Thus, force of action and reaction are opposing forces and acting on two different objects because we have seen two different spring balances we have taken. And you have to remember that these forces, whatever, may not produce acceleration of equal magnitude because different objects have different masses. So when I started my class today, I told two different objects, and that when you observe the slide, you have two different objects of different size. If it is of different size, that indicates it is different mass. That's what I told. A car and a truck, or a cycle and a car, like that. So the forces acting on a lighter body will produce greater acceleration, and the force acting on a heavier body will produce lower acceleration or lesser acceleration. So these points you have to remember for few logical questions when they will ask you. In a TQ question, it is there, ma. So whatever you are seeing, the examples of Newton's second law of motion. So you see the direction and all. If you have taken a rocket which accelerates by expelling gas at a high velocity, the reaction force of the gas on the rocket accelerates the rocket in a direction opposite to the expelled gases. So it is shown in the picture. The motion of the rocket is in one direction and the expelling of the gases in one direction. Not only that, if a helicopter or aeroplane goes, the motion is in one direction, the hot gas is expelled in one direction. Both are in opposite direction. And one more case is a lawn spray where the motion of the water is in one direction, the movement of the sprinkler is in one direction. And a man and a boat. Suppose a sailor in a boat at rest near a river bank. As the sailor jumps from the boat to the river bank, what you are seeing here. So the boat is pushed away from the bank when he is jumping. So this happens due to equal forces of action and reaction. So in all these cases, we find action and reaction forces, and those both are in opposite direction. That part you have to remember, children. So in the picture, first picture, a person is towing a boat. So he is using a paddle to tow the boat. When he is towing a boat in one direction, that is action, and the movement of the boat in one direction. That means the motion of the boat is in forward direction. The movement of the paddle in one more direction. So that in that way you can see the action and reaction. So motion of the boat in forward direction, the towing of a paddle in the backward direction. So what you're seeing in the picture. In the next picture, when the birds fly, they push the air downward with their wings. So and the air pushes back the bird in opposite, that in upward direction. So there's a force applied by the wings of the bird on air, and an opposite force applied by the air on the wings are equal in magnitude and opposite in direction. Next, recoiling of a gun. When a bullet is fired from a gun, the gun recoils. That means the gun moves backward through a small distance, giving jerk to the shoulder of a gunman. This point you have to remember. Recoils means this is because only on firing the gun exerts some force on the bullet, that means action in the forward direction. What you are observing in the picture, force on the bullet, that is action, that is on the bullet. Next, in turn, bullet also exerts an equal force on the gun, that is reaction in the opposite direction, where it is specified in the picture clearly. So the distance moved by the gun is small because gun is much heavier than the bullet. This part I told already, depending upon the mass, how the body accelerates. Here the mass of a bullet is small as compared to the gun. So the bullet velocity will be more because due to its acceleration, but that's the velocity of the gun will be less due to its acceleration. So this point also you have to remember here. This is called a special case called recoil of a gun. So I hope in exhibition and all, when you shoot balloons, balloon shooting, you can have an experience this. So whenever you go next time to exhibition, definitely use a balloon and identify what is happening there. This concept is called a recoil of a gun. So already I told about the rocket. Here one more thing is related to balloon. So balloon moves upwards and the air is coming down. So this is one of these are the examples of Newton's third law. And here we have one activity. What is that is you have to inflate a balloon and press its neck with the fingers to prevent air escaping from it, and pass a thread through a straw and tape the balloon on the straw as shown in the picture. Hold one end of a thread and ask your friend to hold the other end of your thread. Now remove your fingers from the balloon's neck so as to release the air from the balloon. So what happens then you have to see. And one more point you have to remember, when you inflate a balloon and tie its neck, the air within the balloon exerts a force on the walls of the balloon equally in all the direction. This is called elastic forces of the balloon. And now when you release the neck of the balloon to allow air to escape from the balloon, what happens you will see in the next slide. So children, I have shown the activity and that is done in my house. So on the whole, we have to conclude in this way. When we release the neck of the balloon to allow air to escape from the balloon, then the balloon moves in a direction opposite to that of escaping air. So the forces of action and reaction are opposite and equal and opposite. So this activity, in fact, which demonstrates the principle of flight of jet planes and rockets. So in today's class, we have learned Newton's third law of motion with few examples. So with that, I'll complete today's lesson. Thank you, children. Again, we'll meet on the next part in the next online video. Have a good day.